Marilyn Monroe didn't ask for the spotlight. She earned $50 for the original authorized calendar photo shoot, but never consented to the magazine's publication, and she definitely missed out on a paycheck from their substantial profits. Yet, those unauthorized images launched the most famous men's publication on Earth. For decades, those pages functioned as a broad cultural platform that intersected with Hollywood, featuring numerous celebrities along the way. A few actresses wielded the opportunity as a weapon, making a deliberate statement and presenting a dare to the public. Many arrived as hungry newcomers, hunting for their first major break, while veteran icons stepped up to dictate their public image on their own terms. Countless giants of entertainment chose to bear it all, and every single one brought a hidden motive. The reasoning behind these shoots often reveals surprising career strategies. If you enjoy Hollywood history without filters, subscribe right now. Stories like these are exactly what this channel is built to tell. Number 1 on this list is Marilyn Monroe. Step back to the early 50s, when Hugh Hefner, a young copywriter armed with relentless ambition and virtually zero funding, purchased old calendar shots of Marilyn for $500. She never authorized the magazine spread, and she certainly never signed a contract. She didn't even realize she anchored the cover until the issue physically hit newsstands. It became a famous magazine cover, yet the woman driving its success held zero say in the matter, reflecting classic Hollywood power plays. Instead of destroying her image, that unauthorized exposure forged her legend, as those initial issues sold 50,000 copies. Hefner used those early profits to construct a billion-dollar empire, while Marilyn secured the fame, the icon status, and the everlasting mythos. The harsh reality sets in when you realize she just didn't collect the check. This stands as either the greatest accidental launch in entertainment or the most exploitative, and many argue it functioned as both. Nobody has owned the magazine the way Pamela Anderson owned it. According to the cover archives, she secured 14 appearances, setting a record no one has come close to breaking. Her first feature arrived in the October 1989 issue, when she was a relatively unknown girl from Canada with a volleyball cameo and a dream. That initial shoot changed everything. Baywatch immediately followed, turning a simple red swimsuit and a slow-motion run into an era-defining moment of global superstardom that made her a household name. She kept returning to the well, and over 2 decades, she graced the front page repeatedly because she controlled how the world saw her. Pamela didn't hide behind public relations teams or carefully managed press releases. She showed up on her own terms and dared the world to look away. And the audience consistently paid attention. The milestone still stands today, as no actress since has even come close to matching what she built across those pages. That unprecedented run is a career strategy that worked flawlessly. Rewind to the mid-50s. Jayne Mansfield, a defining Hollywood sex symbol of that era, stepped in front of the lens and immediately became the face of a new kind of celebrity. Studios labeled her Hollywood's smartest dumb blonde because she knew how to use her image to construct an empire steadily over time. Now, jump 40 years forward to when Farrah Fawcett, the television icon who defined beauty in the 70s, decided her moment had arrived. According to the magazine archives for the December 1995 issue, she stood proudly at 48 years of age. Circulation records reveal that specific issue transformed into one of the best-selling prints of the decade. The world looked at Farrah at 48 and could not look away. Although generations apart, each icon grasped something Hollywood keeps actively forgetting, proving that confidence does not expire and age does not cancel beauty. Executing a bold choice on your own terms consistently turns more heads than playing it safe. Jayne proved the concept first, and Farrah confirmed it permanently. In the mid-90s, Drew Barrymore turned 19 and officially finished letting other people manage her expectations, ensuring the little girl from E.T. vanished into thin air. Drew booked the shoot independently, stepping up for the January issue and delivering an undeniable message to Hollywood executives who still saw her as a child, showing she commanded her own story. Right after the publication hit shelves, Steven Spielberg, the man who directed Drew when she was barely 6, mailed her a handwritten note alongside an actual physical quilt, asking her to cover up. One of the most powerful directors alive responded to his former child star's adult choices by shipping her a blanket in the mail. Drew responded by sending him 3 framed photographs of herself completely covered up and dressed as a nun. That single reaction dictates everything about her mindset. She operated as an independent adult who finalized a decision, stood in front of the camera without apology, and kept marching forward to build an empire. The quilt stayed in the box, and her career momentum multiplied. Future Oscar nominees and winners recognized the playbook early. Sharon Stone stepped onto the set in 1990, 1 year before Basic Instinct evolved her into a global phenomenon. At that moment, she operated as a working actress, relentlessly climbing toward her first genuine leading role, and the resulting images pushed her public persona as fearless and completely untamed. Basic Instinct arrived in 1992 and generated nearly $353 million worldwide. The timing was highly intentional, and she was not the only one utilizing this specific strategy. In May 1999, Charlize Theron took a similar path. Long before Monster secured her the Academy Award, she worked as a South African talent actively building name recognition in a crowded industry, and the magazine spread delivered that undeniable visibility. Taking a major risk before the gold statuettes ever arrive proves that boldness kicks open doors rather than safety or caution. Intentional risks alter trajectories, and both icons proved it years before anyone handed them a trophy. If you appreciate this kind of detailed Hollywood history, drop a like. It genuinely helps get this content in front of more people who want to see it. Jenny McCarthy walked into her debut shoot during the early 90s and walked out holding $20,000. That payday alone demonstrates how seriously the publication valued her arrival. Crowned with their top annual honor the very next year, the resulting exposure launched her directly from modeling into acting, television hosting, and blockbuster movie roles. Anna Nicole Smith sprinted down a similar path at a faster pace. She captured that same annual title just prior, and those photographs opened the gates to major modeling contracts and acting gigs, including a memorable part in Naked Gun 33 1/3. These stars hit Hollywood with 0 famous last names and 0 studio connections. They utilized those centerfolds as a launch pad, and they made the momentum stick. Anna Nicole's journey took a painful turn later in her life, but the power of that early chapter remains permanent. She chose that path intentionally, and nobody can rewrite her early success. Cindy Crawford stepped in front of their cameras in 1988, and the fashion industry reacted intensely. She already dominated as an original supermodel, serving as the face of Vogue and luxury campaigns worldwide. Appearing in a men's magazine wasn't the standard maneuver for a high fashion icon in the late 80s, but she executed the decision successfully. She returned 10 years later, and the audience mobilized just as intensely, proving that high fashion prestige and universal mass appeal never have to be mutually exclusive. Kim Basinger approached the platform with a wildly different calculation in 1983. Promoting her role as a Bond girl in Never Say Never Again, she utilized the photoshoot as a calculated strategy to expand her profile across multiple demographics. That move transformed her into one of the most recognizable faces of that decade, and she later claimed an Academy Award for LA Confidential. Using one global platform for two radically distinct objectives, each icon walked away clutching exactly what they came for. Carmen Electra didn't just appear once, as she led 44 different international editions across 21 countries. She morphed into the international face of a specific glamour that crossed every language barrier. Baywatch handed her the spotlight, and she deliberately kept that beam pointed at herself for years, with total intention. Shannen Doherty took a different approach after starring in Beverly Hills 90210 and Charmed. As television's mandated sweetheart, perpetually cast as the responsible girl, clutching good values, she broke that image with her first spread, followed it up just 3 months later, and returned a third time a decade later. The motivation behind those appearances was remarkably clear. Exhausted by the wholesome network television label, the actress demanded the public view her through a brand new lens, ensuring nobody could ignore the career pivot. Carmen conquered the globe, while Shannen used the print format to remove a restrictive label she never asked for. Despite contrasting missions, the same instinct existed underneath both icons, allowing them to command the narrative on their own terms. In 2007, Kim Kardashian did not yet exist as the billionaire businesswoman commanding a global beauty empire, but rather operated as a reality television newcomer, anchoring a series most viewers had not discovered yet. Her photoshoot rolled cameras right alongside the first season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, meaning the behind-the-scenes footage actively became part of the series itself. The photoshoot became a storyline that hooked the audience, and the audience eventually built the empire. That stands as a layered marketing strategy that successfully integrated multiple media formats. Denise Richards approached the opportunity from a completely different angle when she arrived on set in 2004, months after delivering her first child. The Wild Things actress and James Bond star stood postpartum and released photographs that dominated headlines across the entertainment press. Her visual message hit directly, proving that motherhood does not erase unapologetic confidence. Despite different eras and separate life moments, they relied on one shared instinct to own their narrative before somebody else could write it. Lindsay Lohan's 2012 feature stood as one of the highly anticipated reveals of that decade, after Mean Girls crowned her a generation's favorite talent. Ruthless tabloids spent years twisting her into a tragic, cautionary tale, prompting her to channel Marilyn Monroe to regain control. Using platinum blonde hair and classic setups, she provided a visual tribute to the magazine's original star. That January issue pulled Lindsay back into the cultural conversation strictly on her own terms, effectively silencing the gossip columns and bringing the publication full circle from where the empire started. In the mid-90s, Nancy Sinatra took a similarly bold step. The daughter of Frank Sinatra, a powerful talent who constructed her own music career on tracks like These Boots Are Made for Walkin', elected to bear it all at 54 years old. Despite reaching an age when most of Hollywood unfairly demands retirement, the music legend arrived on set and executed the shoot flawlessly, walking away having commanded the room entirely. Frank always advised doing things your own way, and Nancy proved she paid attention to that philosophy. Not one of these actresses made their career choices by accident. From Marilyn Monroe having her photos published without her knowledge, to Nancy Sinatra posing at 54 with zero apology, every woman on this list used those pages as a career tool. Some built careers from scratch with the exposure, while others completely rewrote how the world saw them. The magazine itself closed its print edition in 2020, but the stories behind these images remain permanent. Share the photo shoot that surprised you the most in the comments below. If you want more Hollywood history told without the filter, subscribe to the channel, as there is a lot more history to uncover.